Hey there, how's it going everybody? Dan here with plantabundance.com. It's been an absolutely beautiful week to be a gardener here in the East Bay, California. Earlier in the week we did get a little hot. We had a couple days of 100 degrees, but it's been slowly tapering off. Today we're expected with a high of 82, so just a beautiful day to be out in the garden. I've been very busy this week. In my free time I've been collecting seeds, planting out new plants, doing chop and drop, harvesting lots of produce. But I've been bringing the camera along with me and documenting that footage. And I thought, hey, why not put together a video collage this week and just share with you guys some of the various stuff I've been up to this week. So hopefully you enjoy that, and hopefully you're enjoying your 4th of July weekend. And without further ado, let's get this video rolling. For the past couple weeks, I've been harvesting from these Ashitaba plants, also known as tomorrow's leaf. When you take off a branch like this, it allows the plant to put more energy into its new growth. So I've been allowing these to dry. Also, I have this beautiful perennial hibiscus that's come back this year, nice and strong. This has made an excellent understory to my almond tree here. And when it starts to bloom, you can see the flowers are very large and beautiful. And after just a few days, they actually start to dry up and they just fall off the plant. So I've also been collecting these with the Ashitaba. And today I'm going to be making a quick tea. So you can see the leaves are nice and dry. They could actually use even a little bit more time. And you could also process these further by grinding them up a bit just to get more of the extraction process going. But it really is just as easy as taking different ingredients from the garden that make teas and putting them in a jar or a glass vessel, and then putting some boiling water over it and just allowing it to steep until it cools down. You can see the hibiscus is having an immediate effect on the tint of the water. And this is just after about 20 minutes or so. Here's to your health, everybody. Hibiscus and Ashitaba, that's a great combo. I also love listening to more mellow music when I'm out in the garden, things like classical. There's also an artist by the name of Sonicade, which I found that I really enjoy, as well as my plants and my animals. It just puts a calming effect throughout the garden. So of course the chickens have been enjoying the weather, and so have my dogs. This here is Rocket, and he found a nice little cozy spot over near the hop vines in the echinacea. He's in the shade, just enjoying the day. And as we veer closer towards the echinacea, you can see how much the bees are enjoying the flowers. Also, my Jerusalem artichokes began to bloom this week. As you can see, the bees are also digging them. Stalks are nice and full, and right behind the stalks you can see where I've got the calabash gourd growing around this tomato cage that I had built, putting off quite a few different gourds now. Everywhere I look, there's more blooms, more flowers, more bees. It's really a great time to be out in the garden. I went ahead and harvested some of the different parts of the squash plant, but just about every part of the squash plant is edible. You can eat the growing tips, which are great in stir fries. You could also take the leaves, preferably younger leaves and stems of the plant, and you can also saute those or boil them into soups. And the seeds can be prepared just like pumpkin seeds and dried out and prepared for later snacks. And even the flowers can be cooked or boiled and eaten. So this truly is a versatile, abundant plant. Here you can see I went ahead and threw a little recipe together really quick. I've got a variety of different greens in here. And in no time at all, I got myself a nice healthy dinner here of sprouted rice and quinoa, steamed greens, and tilapia. Many of you may have seen the video I made earlier this week where I harvested Armenian cucumbers from my hugelkultur and transformed it into a delicious, cooling summertime juice. I also had an excellent seed crop harvest of fava beans. I started off with just 10 seeds of 2 varieties and ended up with hundreds to plant this coming fall. I also harvested the rest of the walking stick kale seeds. As you can hear, they're rattling away in their pods. I was able to get my first harvest of Arctic J white nectarine this week. Not only was this fruit beautiful, it was very delicious. Highly recommended. I had another first harvest this week as well. This is a white blanquette fig. Now I haven't been able to find any information on this tree online. I actually purchased this from a gal over at the National Heirloom Festival, but it's a very vigorous grower. It's starting to put off some nice edible figs now, and I gotta tell you, they're very delicious. I also harvested a few Peter's honey figs off my other tree, and I couldn't be happier with the results. The tomato plant growing on this younger hugelkultur has been doing just excellent. It's growing right atop this hugelkultur that's less than 2 years old, and I gotta tell you, this is one of the most prolific cherry tomatoes I've ever grown. Loaded down with tomatoes everywhere. It looks extremely healthy. It's completely covering the mound and also going out into the pathways. But the best thing is the taste. I've been consistently harvesting off of this plant, and I gotta tell you, these are little flavor bombs. I noticed today some of the aronia berries are starting to ripen. I'm very happy about that. And this little beautiful flower here is the flower of none other than the purple jalapeno pepper, which some of the plants have now started to go to fruit. And here's an update on the artichoke plant that I'd featured a few videos back. I had mentioned how I was just leaving the globes on the plant because I love the flower so much. Here you can see just why that is. One of the garden arbors is now completely engulfed with the calabash gourd, and just recently I saw the morning glory had intertwined itself and started to show its beautiful face. Now it is true, morning glory can be quite invasive, but if you take the proper measures and get all the seed heads out before they drop to the ground, it's pretty easy to control in my experience. My little patch of chaya or tree spinach back here has now started to flower. You can see it's doing very well in its little sunny spot. And it's almost as if this yellow dahlia is smiling at you saying good morning as you enter the garden. This is growing at the base of that younger hugelkultur. I've also got the chrysanthemum, which the flowers are edible. Next to that we got the daylily, which is an excellent variety of flower to grow, especially if you've got less than perfect soil. If you've got a nice sunny location, they're pretty much indestructible, drought tolerant. And as always, I've got my little gardening buddies out doing a little bug detail. I don't think they mind. Here's another good development. This is Jiao Oolong, otherwise known as the immortality herb. And I put this in the ground last year, and it did overwinter and come back, so I'm very happy to report that. It's another plant that's great for making teas. And next to that, I got the ever-powerful stinging nettle, putting off all these seed heads here. And it was just about a month ago that I actually topped this plant off. It had more mature seed heads on it. Now the stinging nettle seeds are actually one of the most nutrient-dense part of the plant, and they make a great food and medicine. Well, that's it for now, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be talking to you again real soon.